It happened at a grand charity event hosted by my own law firm, a night meant to celebrate our success and give back to the community. The ballroom shimmered with golden lights, filled with judges, clients, and business partners. My wife, Clara, stood beside me, her charm captivating everyone. We were the picture of a perfect couple, until that one sentence changed everything. When one of the guests jokingly referred to her as Mrs. Raymond, Clara laughed loudly and said, "Stop pretending, we're not even married." The room froze for a second, then erupted in awkward laughter. My smile vanished as whispers began to spread like wildfire. She said it with such confidence, as if it were a joke, but to everyone else, it sounded like a confession. I tried to play along, laughing faintly, though my heart was pounding. Throughout the evening, I caught glances from my colleagues. People whispered, exchanged smirks, and avoided meeting my eyes. I had spent years building my reputation as a man of dignity, and in a few careless seconds, Clara had made me the subject of mockery. Inside, I felt humiliated and betrayed. I knew she had been distant lately, but I didn't expect her to publicly humiliate me like that. When we got home, I confronted her. She brushed it off, saying it was just a joke, and I was overreacting. But I could see in her eyes that it wasn't just a joke. There was something deeper, something cruel. That night, I didn't argue further. I simply nodded and went to my study. I stayed up until dawn, not with anger, but with quiet resolve. Over the next few days, I began to notice more strange behavior. She started going out more often, leaving her phone face down, and becoming defensive over the simplest questions. My instincts as both a husband and a lawyer told me to dig deeper. I hired a private investigator, someone discreet but reliable. Within a week, I had everything I needed: pictures, messages, and call logs. Clara wasn't just trying to embarrass me. She had been seeing another man for months, a business rival of mine. When I saw the proof, I felt a strange calm instead of rage. I realized her "we're not married" comment wasn't random. It was guilt leaking through arrogance. She was trying to push me away before I uncovered her betrayal. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I decided to turn her own arrogance into her downfall. I carefully planned my next move. Since most of our assets and properties were registered under my firm's name for tax purposes, I knew she'd get nothing if I acted fast. Quietly, I had my lawyer revise the terms of our prenuptial agreement and freeze our joint accounts under suspicion of financial misconduct. Clara had no idea what was coming. A week later, we hosted another firm gathering, this time smaller and more private. Clara showed up, smiling as though nothing had happened. Everyone greeted her politely, though the tension in the room was obvious. During my speech, I thanked everyone for their loyalty and trust, then paused, looking directly at her. "Some people think marriage is just an act," I said slowly, "but tonight, I want to make something clear: I don't act." As I finished, a courier entered the room with an envelope addressed to Clara. She looked confused as she opened it. Inside was a divorce notice and copies of the investigation report. Gasps filled the room as she read it, her face turning pale. The same people who had laughed at me weeks ago now looked at her with disbelief and pity. Clara stormed out, shouting that I'd ruined her life, but I didn't respond. I had been ruined once already, and this was simply balance. Later that night, her lover's company suddenly lost its biggest legal client, us. Within months, his business began to crumble under legal pressure. I didn't even need to lift a finger. My reputation did the work for me. Clara tried to reach out, apologizing, saying she didn't mean it, that she had made a mistake. But my heart was already cold. I replied only once, "You said we weren't married, remember? I'm just respecting your words." After that, I blocked her number and moved on. In the months that followed, I focused entirely on my firm. The same people who had once whispered behind my back now treated me with renewed respect. Some even said they admired how gracefully I handled everything. I never told them the full story. I didn't need to. My silence spoke louder than any explanation. Eventually, I heard that Clara had left town. Her reputation was ruined, and her new relationship had fallen apart once the truth came out. I didn't celebrate it, but I didn't pity her either. Every action has a consequence, and she had simply met hers. That night at the event, when she mocked our marriage, everyone laughed. They thought she had humiliated me. But in the end, When the truth surfaced and she lost everything, I was the one who truly had the last laugh.